All right, we're switching over to the graphs of logarithms and the attributes and whatnot. So first things first, I need to talk about how do you put this in your calculator, because not everything is readily apparent for what you need, especially on like number 12. You really can't tell your y-intercept very well on that. So what you do need to do is know how to put this in your calculator. So grab a calculator if you don't have one already, and go to your y equals. Okay, so log base 2. The way you put in a log, what we're going to do is we're going to hit the alpha button. A-L-P-H-A. And if you look at the very top row of buttons right next to the y equals, you'll see a little F2 in green. Alright, actually, let's make it green. How does that sound? I'm going to make my strokes, whatever, green. In green, it'll be an F2. Alright, and then we want the one that says log. I think it looks like this. I think it looks like L-O-G, then base. Really big. And it'll print something on your screen that looks like this. Log. You'll have, let me scroll in, a little box down here and a bigger box right there. That's what it'll do to your calculator, okay? So again, alpha F2 log base. That's where you find it. Okay, I think you can also find it under the math box, but I don't know exactly. I'm under the math button, but I'm not really sure where it is, okay? But this is the way that I know how to do it. So first things first, here we go, your x-intercept. Your x-intercept you can just look at and say, oh, look, it's right there at 3. So that's at 3, 0. Your y-intercept, hopefully you've noticed that this right here is your asymptote. So it's never going to cross this line. So it can never cross this asymptote and go, oh, I'm on the x-axis. So therefore, for this logarithm, no, I want to erase that, there is none. It's never over on that part of the graph. Okay? A max/min, there again, there is none, not mon. There is no max or min. Your vertical asymptote, again, that's this line right here. You notice how this comes down and then kind of straightens out really close? It's right there on that too. Now, if you looked on your chart, your chart says it's at x equals c over b. Okay, and that's, if you want to do that, that's fine. Again, your c is 2. Remember, you got to flip that side, and your b value is the 1 in front of x. So if you're using your chart, that's positive 2 over 1, which is just 2. So in this case, x equals 2. So if you're using your chart, that's what you're doing. Or if you're using your graph, you can say, hey, look, it's right there at x equals 2. All right. The domain in interval notation, again, your domain is that c over b, either to infinity to the right or infinity to the left. It's an asymptote either right or left. In this case, it's going to the right, so your domain, let me zoom in, will be from that 2 to positive infinity. It's going to the right direction, the positive direction. All right, and your range, okay, it goes down forever, and it is slanted, but it's still going up. Okay, so your range is also, is all real numbers. So we're going to go negative infinity to positive infinity. That's an interval notation. Okay, all logarithms have a range of all real numbers. Okay. Here we go. So number 12. Number 12, your x-intercept. Okay, x-intercept right there. Again at 3, 0. Wow, it happened twice in a row. A y-intercept. Now the y-intercept, again, that's when you have to go use this to put it in. Okay. So your y-intercept, I have to use something else because I can't use a calculator on this right now. My thing is being stupid. But the y-intercept is at, I got to click on my computer, it is at 0, comma, negative 1.26. Okay? And again, you can just go to your table, find where x is 0, and it'll say, oh, y is negative 1.26. There you go. Your maximum again, there's no max or min. Your vertical asymptote, that's c over b, x equals c over b. Or you can just look at your graph and go, look, it stops right there at 4. See? So that's x equals positive 4. But again, if you're doing the c over b, it's negative 4 divided by negative 1, which negative 4 divided by negative 1 is a positive 4. Okay, that's your c over b. I'll write it out that way so you know what's going on. Your domain is, again, from that asymptote to the left or the asymptote to the right. So, I'm going to erase a few things. So in this case, we're going from the asymptote to the left. So in interval notation, that would be negative infinity up to 4. Okay, it's because it's going to the left forever. But in set builder, if we're going to the left, we are less than 4. So here we go. X bar x is less than 4. And it doesn't have the or equal to because it can't be on the 4. That's where the asymptote is. So you cannot be equal to it. There's something on my screen. There we go. Last but not least, your range. We said range was all real numbers. So we got to go y bar y is a subset of all real numbers. Okay. And again, you can get that straight out of your notes, straight out of those charts. Stop. Where is it? There it is.